Before watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch the video till the end. You will love my video. We need your support. Reviving History. 7. Trailblazing Visionaries of America. Reimagined with AI. What if the great visionaries who shaped America could step into our world today? Imagine George Washington walking through modern Washington, D.C., or Harriet Tubman navigating the digital age. Thanks to the power of AI, we can now reimagine history's boldest leaders, not just as figures of the past, but as living inspirations for the future. These 7 trailblazers didn't just shape America once, they're about to do it again. History has always been about memory, what we choose to preserve, what we choose to forget, and what lessons we carry forward. For centuries, the stories of America's great visionaries, its presidents, inventors, activists, and dreamers, have been told through textbooks, museums, and faded portraits. These are powerful ways to remember, but they are also static. They freeze these leaders in time, leaving them as relics of the past rather than voices that can speak to our present. But what if that could change? What if technology could breathe new life into history? Today, we stand at the intersection of the past and the future with artificial intelligence as the bridge. AI allows us to imagine what these historical figures might say if they could see the world now, how they would react to modern politics, technology, culture, and global challenges. It lets us blend their timeless wisdom with the pressing issues of today. In this video, we're not rewriting history. We're reviving it. We'll explore the legacies of 7 of America's most trailblazing visionaries: George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Harriet Tubman, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Martin Luther King Jr., and reimagine their ideas through the lens of artificial intelligence. These leaders changed America once. Perhaps, if we listen, their AI-revived voices can help change it again. George Washington unity in the digital age. George Washington, America's first president, is often remembered as the general who led the colonies to victory in the Revolutionary War and the reluctant leader who set the standard for the presidency. He stepped away from power voluntarily, proving that America would not be ruled by kings, but by the people. But what would Washington say if he could step into the America of today? Through AI reimagination, Washington is not just a figure carved into Mount Rushmore. He becomes a living voice addressing the 21st century. His greatest concern, famously outlined in his farewell address of 1796, was division. He warned against political factions, regionalism, and foreign interference, believing that America's survival depended on unity. Fast forward to today. Washington would see a nation divided along ideological lines, consumed by partisan conflict, and vulnerable to misinformation spread across digital platforms. Reimagined with AI, Washington's advice might be this: the strength of America lies not in endless argument, but in common purpose. Technology must connect citizens, not divide them. Digital factions can be as dangerous as political ones. Washington would also recognize new forms of warfare: cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and AI-driven propaganda. As a military strategist, he would likely urge America to defend not just its borders, but its information space. Just as he once fought to secure independence with muskets and cannons, he would now demand vigilance in the digital realm. Most importantly, Washington would remind Americans that leadership is not about clinging to power. His voluntary retirement after 2 terms set the precedent that power must serve the people, not the person. In an age when many leaders worldwide extend their rule indefinitely, Washington's AI-revived voice would stand as a bold reminder. Democracy survives only when leaders are humble enough to let it. Benjamin Franklin innovation for a new century. Benjamin Franklin was America's Renaissance man, inventor, scientist, diplomat, writer, and one of the architects of independence. His curiosity knew no bounds. He discovered electricity, created the lightning rod, pioneered civic institutions, and negotiated alliances that secured victory in the revolution. If Franklin lived today, AI would be his playground. AI allows us to reimagine Franklin not with a kite and key, but with code and algorithms. He would see artificial intelligence as the new electricity, a force powerful enough to transform society for better or for worse. Franklin's AI-revived wisdom might sound like this. Every invention is a double-edged sword. Fire can cook your meal or burn your home. Electricity can illuminate cities or electrocute. So too with AI, it must be guided by wisdom and virtue. Franklin believed technology should serve humanity. He would likely question whether AI is being used to expand human freedom or merely to concentrate power in corporations and governments. He would push for AI to improve education, reduce poverty, and strengthen democracy, not just drive profits. His curiosity would also make him a champion of experimentation. Franklin was never afraid to fail. He embraced mistakes as stepping stones to progress. His reimagined message would be, do not fear failure in innovation, fear only stagnation. In Franklin's AI revival, we see the enduring lesson that technology is only as noble as the hands that wield it. Harriet Tubman, Freedom in the Age of Surveillance. Harriet Tubman, known as the Moses of her people, escaped slavery only to return again and again, leading others to freedom along the Underground Railroad. She risked her life for justice, navigating through danger with courage and determination. Reimagined with AI, Tubman would be more than a symbol of 19th century resistance. She would be a warrior for freedom in the digital age. Today, human trafficking, mass incarceration, and systemic inequality still deny freedom to millions. Tubman's AI-revived voice might use technology as a new underground railroad, mapping safe routes for refugees, exposing hidden networks of exploitation, and organizing communities to resist oppression. At the same time, Tubman would understand the dangers of surveillance. In her era, slave catchers tracked freedom seekers with dogs and informants. Today, governments and corporations track people with algorithms and cameras. Tubman would likely warn, technology can be a lantern in the dark, but it can also be a chain. Freedom demands that we decide which it will be. Her message, carried into the AI age, is timeless. Courage and vigilance are the price of liberty. Abraham Lincoln, healing divisions in the 21st century. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, carried the nation through its bloodiest war and ended slavery. He is remembered for his wisdom, humility, and his insistence on preserving the Union. But what if Lincoln could speak to America now? Through AI, Lincoln might stand before us again, tall and solemn, warning that division remains the nation's greatest threat. In the Civil War, the conflict was fought with rifles and cannons. Today, division spreads through social media, echo chambers, and cultural polarization. Lincoln's AI-revived message would echo his Gettysburg Address. A house divided cannot stand. A nation of the people, by the people, for the people, cannot endure if it devours itself from within. He would urge Americans to rise above hatred and anger, to seek compromise, and to remember that democracy is fragile. Lincoln knew that leadership requires empathy. His AI voice would remind us, do not mistake disagreement for enmity, for if you lose sight of one another's humanity, you will lose your republic. In an era where unity feels impossible, Lincoln's revival through AI offers a moral compass America desperately needs. Thomas Edison, Innovation, Risk, and the AI Frontier. Thomas Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park, gave the world the phonograph, the light bulb, and countless inventions that shaped modern life. His genius was not just in invention, but in persistence, failing thousands of times before achieving success. Reimagined today, Edison would be fascinated by artificial intelligence. He would see AI not as a threat, but as a frontier, like electricity once was. Edison's AI-revived wisdom might be, do not fear the darkness of failure. It is the laboratory where light is born. He would likely dive into AI applications in renewable energy, robotics, and healthcare, seeing endless opportunities for human progress. But he would also warn of complacency. Just as past societies abandoned great technologies, Edison would caution America not to squander AI's potential through fear or misuse. Edison's legacy, reimagined through AI, is a reminder that innovation is not about avoiding mistakes, it's about daring to try again and again until progress is made. Eleanor Roosevelt, Human Rights in the Digital Era. Eleanor Roosevelt transformed the role of First Lady into one of activism, leadership, and courage. She was the architect of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, shaping the global conversation on dignity, equality, and justice. AI allows us to reimagine Eleanor Roosevelt as a voice for human rights in the digital era. She would see both promise and peril in technology, the power to connect people across borders, but also the risk of surveillance, censorship, and inequality. Her AI-revived message might be, human rights are not optional. They are the foundation of peace. No algorithm should decide whose voice is heard, whose life is valued, or whose freedom is denied. She would likely push for AI ethics, ensuring that technology serves humanity rather than enslaves it. Roosevelt's vision, brought into the 21st century, would remind us that justice must guide innovation, or innovation will destroy justice. Martin Luther King Jr., The Dream, reimagined with AI DAR. Martin Luther King Jr., the leader of the civil rights movement, inspired America with his dream of a nation where character mattered more than color. His words moved millions, and his legacy continues to shape the fight for equality. AI reimagines King not as a figure from the 1960s, but as a living dreamer confronting today's challenges. He would see progress, but also unfinished work, systemic racism, inequality, and new forms of injustice embedded in algorithms themselves. King's AI-revived voice might say, technology is not neutral. If it reflects bias, it reflects injustice. The dream cannot be coded into reality unless fairness guides the code. He would harness AI to spread messages of peace, organize communities, and amplify marginalized voices. But he would also warn against its misuse for surveillance or oppression. King's timeless message, the arc of the moral universe bends toward justice, reimagined with AI, becomes a challenge. The arc will only bend if humanity programs it too. 7 visionaries, 7 voices, 7 lessons reborn through AI. Washington reminds us that unity is fragile. Franklin urges us to use technology wisely. Tubman teaches that freedom demands courage. Lincoln calls for empathy in the face of division. Edison inspires us to embrace risk in innovation. Roosevelt warns us to anchor technology in human rights. And King challenges us to bend the moral arc of the future with justice. AI cannot replace these leaders, but it can revive their wisdom. It can remind us that history is not dead. The past lives in our present, shaping every choice we make. The question is simple. Will America listen? Will it carry these lessons forward or forget them and repeat history's mistakes? The power of AI is not in recreating voices, but in awakening our own. History has been revived. Now, the future awaits.